Backstage, Pointfest 2025. I have no idea, James, how we have not had the opportunity to speak at all. In all of Finger 11 success, and as much as that we have played you at the point, that we have never made an acquaintance, it just feels like a missed opportunity. I'm glad we were able to sort of correct that today.
Yeah, that is crazy. I know we've been here. We were here with Creed. So I remember this place. There was a horse just over there.
Like for real?
You could pet a horse. Yeah.
Wow. It feels like we might have shortchanged you a bit today because we don't have anything like that going on.
Yeah. But I a lot of venues all blur together, but this one I remember because of the horse.
Yeah, I would think that. I have a question about Paralyzer specifically.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You have one of these sort of like, not even sort of, an iconic song that like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, people are going to know. You hear Paralyzer in the grocery store. You hear it at sporting events. You hear it everywhere. And I guess it's just kind of, what is it like for you, an artist that has worked so hard, to have one of those sorts of songs in their catalog? Because not everybody gets that.
It's pretty awesome. Like the places where it comes on, like on vacation, say be in Mexico and it comes on at the resort or something like that. Like it's very much a trip.
Yeah.
Because we think all the songs are as good as each other, but then one of them stands out significantly. You're like, okay, well, yeah, it's a little bit of luck, I guess.
So
but
that was
very cool.
But it was not a case when you did Paralyzer that you were like, boys, we got one here.
I think that vibe was in the air. Like the song came about really fast. Like most of our songs, we take a long time. It's a very belabored process, and Paralyzer happened very fast. Well, here's a good one. So Paralyzer, the music for it, we had a friend who was taking a photography course, and he wanted to take our picture. So we were like, well, okay, on Thursday or whatever, we're going to be at the jam space, so come. So we got together and we were jamming, and it was just not happening. The day was like, you know what, this sucks. And on a rare occasion, we were like, you know what, let's just pull the plug early and get out of here. So we packed up all the gear, and as we're leaving, our buddy shows up, and he's like, well, where are you guys going? I'm here to take some pictures. We're like, oh, shit. So we unloaded all the gear and set back up, and he was taking some pictures, and we were posing. We're like, you know what, let's make up something to do while he's taking pictures, so we're not posing. And so we made up Paralyzer.
Wow.
And so just after the photo shoot, and we were like, okay, we're just jamming the song. Then we're like, maybe we should just record it real quick because it's kind of fun.
Right.
And then we sent it to Scott, and he wrote it like in a couple hours. He sent it back, and it was a done song. And it, like, our lives have been changed since. But we almost didn't do it. We almost were like, wow, let's get out of here. Today's not happening.
It is so crazy during the history of music how there are those kinds of stories that are just amazing, where everything kind of has to perfectly happen for it to be the way that it did.
Yeah. And the ones that you take forever and ever to do, that they don't necessarily, that doesn't ensure that they're going to be the one, right?
Yeah.
Like these ones that come out of nowhere. So yeah, it was like lightning in a bottle kind of thing.
I want to ask you this. One of the reasons in which that I could not write a song outside of not having the talent to do it is that I believe that I would squeeze any sort of fun or life or like goodness out of it by trying to make it perfect.
Yeah.
Like, how do you learn to be like, we have put enough into this. I like how it is. You know what I mean? Like, or do you get to that?
Yeah, we've definitely done that. Like, the good thing about us now, and we've had songs that we loved, and then we just, by the time it got onto the record, had no life in it. Exactly like you say. Like the demo was really raw, and then we tried to perfect it to the point where it had no vibe. And I think we've done that a handful of times, enough to know we're not going to do that. And so with our songs now, every guy in the band, it's such a democratic process that if we start refining a song and the part that I like starts to disappear, I'll be like, guys, I don't want to do this one anymore. And the same for Scott or Sean or Rick. Like you kind of start to detect, like, okay, why is this a song? Because we all love some part of it, and if we start refining it to the point where the parts that somebody loves is gone,
Yeah.
then we've lost it. It's not there. But it took doing that a couple times and kind of like spoiling a couple songs to do that. And the other thing is, when you're young, you're playing at the extent of your abilities. So every song it has this dangerous vibe to it because you're not really that good.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you kind of get a little better and you think you know what you're doing, you start to think you know what you're doing, and you realize, oh, part of what's great about rock and roll is the danger and the recklessness of it. And so if we try to perfect something too much, it has no danger.
Right, taking that all out of it.
So a lot of it is that it's like the old kung fu that like unlearn and try to keep something to be as raw and basic as possible, because the more you don't want to be doing a clinic. You don't want to be
right
making it like jazz.
Again, you're
you want
taking
it
the
to
life out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's hard to know where that line is, but you know once you crossed it.
Well, I'm curious. I was thinking about this when you had mentioned Creed earlier in the interview. Did you meet them early on? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're both Wind-Up Records. You were both Wind-Up Records bands. So were you baby bands at the same time?
That's right. Yeah, they were just getting started, and it had the appearance that it was blowing up pretty fast.
Yeah, very fast.
And we got signed shortly after that. And of course, we thought that was going to happen for us too. And it was like, oh, well. So we opened for them a lot and watched them go from, like, say, like a House of Blues, like a club, to like arenas in a very short time. And we lucked out and got to go along for the ride.
Have you been kind of surprised with how big that resurgence for them has been over the course of the last? I mean, they went from kind of like one of those like bands that people talk bad about to bam, forefront. Hey, we're doing a Creed cruise. You know what I mean? Like, because you played that, I believe, right?
No, we didn't do the cruise because Rick gets seasick. We did one ages ago with Three Doors Down, and
that was enough.
Rick didn't do well.
Yeah.
I think time that you got a new generation of kids who don't know that any of that was not cool. And they just hear the good songs that lasted over time, and they go, well, we love this.
I feel
but
like
you could see like there used to be, and I think the same happened with Nickelback too. It was like there was an irony to liking it, and then over time it's like, okay, the irony's gone. It's just good rock songs, and people nowadays, they just want some real rock because there's enough other stuff. It's like, okay, and I think with Creed too, they have a positivity that, the way the world is now, there's just so much pessimism, everyone's so good at articulating what's wrong. And then when you hear a band that's talking about what could be right, it's like, I think people really, really want that.
All right, so I don't mean to finish it on this note, but I absolutely, I'm just very curious. I just assume, since you're Canadian, I think from Toronto. Yeah. Leafs guy?
Yeah, I guess I have to be by default. But yeah, we were watching last night.
Were you watching last night? Series tied 3-3?
Yeah.
What do you think? How you feeling?
Man, I hope they go. I hope they go through to the next round. But I don't know. I'm a bit of a outlier. Like I don't really pay attention to the sports. It's normally the other guys on the text thread. I can tell if there's a game on because they're texting all about it. But you get wrapped up the closer it gets to the cup, of course. So I think they could pull it off, but I'm not qualified to say. I don't think
the Toronto Maple Leaf jersey is one of the most beautiful jerseys
cool.
in sport. And then your coach now is Craig Berube, who was the head coach here when we won the Stanley Cup in 2019.
The security guard was telling me about this earlier.
Yeah, man. So he has like legendary sort of status in our town. So I'm kind of a Leafs fan on the side just because I love that guy so much.
So hopefully we're conjuring up
hopefully for you guys we are.
For them.
Well, listen, thank you.
The city goes crazy. Like whenever they win, it's pretty awesome. So if they ever won a cup, Toronto would be just an amazing place.
Well, what was crazy is, so I was listening to, I have a friend that does sports radio, and we were listening to some calls from Toronto radio after they got hammered by the Panthers 6-1 the other day. And I have never heard people that were so angry and still so polite at the same time. like they were really pissed off, but still very polite about it.
Yeah, they're not, like, it's very unforgiving. If they lose, then, there was people throwing their jerseys on the ice
saw
and stuff.
that.
I was like, okay, you might need that for the next game.
That jersey cost you $200. What
I
are
know.
you doing?
It's just how passionate everyone is. So if they brought the cup home,
Oh, man.
it would be crazy.
Really something else.
Yeah.
Really something else. It's been an absolute pleasure, James.
Yeah,
We're
man.
really, really looking forward to seeing Finger 11 open here, the main stage.
We have our new record is done. It's not, we don't have a release date yet, but it's done.
What's the label situation?
We're on Better Noise Music.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And so last year we put a song out with them that was sort of kind of a test balloon, let's say. But the record's done now, and we're just working on getting the promo ready and everything else.
And I'm normally very, very good at that. So was this Together Right? Or
No,
was
it was
this
called Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Very
Together
good.
Right was on our greatest hits that came out.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of the last couple in
Yeah.
which from you guys in which that we have played.
Yeah, we thought we were talking about taking a long time to make a song. We thought last year we put Adrenaline out, and a couple months later we'd be done the record.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us a whole other year to finish it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't because we were trying to perfect it. It's just trying to make every second of it have a buzz.
Yeah.
It. And it's good.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I feel really good about it.
And when do you think that we will have that?
I don't know. The release date's not locked in yet, but I'm hoping before the end of the year. I mean, it's done.
Right.
It's called Last Night on Earth.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to that. We look forward to playing it, and we look
Yeah.
forward to hopefully having you back in St. Louis.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Finger 11, opening the main stage, Pointfest 2025, backstage.